So we'll start by settling the body, finding a stable, comfortable, upright position serviceable for meditation. So we think about keeping our feet flat and our back straight, torso open, hands in the lap right over left with the palms upturned and the thumbs gently touching. Our eyes are gently closed or slightly open, making sure we let in enough light to remain alert. Try to avoid slouching or leaning. Also let go of any unnecessary tension or rigidity in the body, relaxing into a stable, comfortable, upright position. And begin to let go of attending to the environment, allowing sights and sounds to be as they are without investigation. Constraining your awareness just to the body and mind. Concentrating that awareness in the present by attending closely to the physical sensation of the air moving into and back out of the tip of the nostrils. Noticing quickly when anything other than that one physical sensation is arising in the mind, and without judgment or frustration, lifting your awareness up from those distractions and placing it gently but firmly again and again on the breath. Then generate a broad and altruistic motivation for your time, thinking of the kindness of all other sentient beings shown to you in this and beginningless past lives, wanting to repay that kindness and recognizing that engaging in a process of genuine inner transformation is the best way to be able to naturally and spontaneously be of benefit to sentient beings, cultivating positive states of mind and reducing and ultimately eliminating tendencies and habits and states of mind that are not beneficial. Seeing that as the vehicle for repaying this extraordinary kindness. And to elaborate on the theme of impermanence, contemplate the implications of our own death in our spiritual lives. Death, in one way, is a consequence of the impermanence of the body. Right now, the causes and conditions for body and mind to be together are operating because the body is impermanent. Its causes and conditions can fall away and necessarily must fall away, which is the first point of contemplation that every sentient being experiences death. So we can contemplate this by thinking of those in the past who've achieved the very height of their fields, the greatest philosophers, scientists, military generals, presidents, kings, pharaohs, emperors, those who conquered vast land, those whose works of thought and art continue to be studied, no matter what they accomplished, no matter their wealth or power. In the end, they all showed the aspect of passing away. Contemplate whoever comes to mind. If we look at the world as it is in 100 years, nearly every human alive will be dead. Almost everyone that we know, except for the very young. All of the organizations and governments and systems will have changed, populated a few times over, different people. Of the time that we ourselves have left, that time can only decrease. However many decades or years or months or days or even hours there are between this moment and our last moment in this life. Each second reduces the distance between those 2 points, whether we're sleeping or eating or watching a movie or moving only in one direction, like jumping out of a plane without a parachute and watching the ground get closer and closer. And within this life, the amount of time that we have spent and probably are spending on really developing the mind is quite small. Our childhood and probably early adulthood is spent focused on other things. And even now we sleep and work, engage in entertainment, and as old age approaches, that kind of formal practice might become more and more difficult. reflect on these points and try to come to a conclusion that because my death is certain, I must engage in a process of spiritual growth and transformation. And then the next point is the complete uncertainty of the time of our death. And we can see that clearly in the human experience, there's no fixed lifespan. There are many times when young children die, teens and adolescents, those in high school, college age, you can bring to mind many examples of people we know, people we've read about who died at ages much younger than we are now. In part because there are so many different causes of death. There are external causes like natural disasters, car or plane crashes, in acts of violence. And there are many hundreds of internal causes, different diseases, conditions, Even the things that we do to sustain our lives by eating and drinking can be the cause of our death through contamination or even just over indulging. Even medications can be given in the wrong dose or can interact. It can bring about the death of many people. Also related is the frailty of the human body. Even a tiny cut or a microscopic virus, bacteria, billions of times smaller than the body, can result in death. So recognize that remaining in this life is completely uncertain by contemplating these points. And think, therefore, I must engage in this process without delay. And imagine that the time of your death is arriving. And think that although at that time you may be surrounded by friends and family, and surrounded by your possessions, these are things that at that time are of very limited value. The mind is going further and further inward. Our ability to see and hear, interact, is slipping away. Ultimately, even our own body is going to fail us at this time. So all of these external supports of friends and family, possessions, and even our own body bring very little benefit during this final period. What is of benefit is the content of our mind, the tendencies and the habits, the familiarities that we've cultivated over our lives. Contemplating that now generate strong determination to practice effortfully, consistently, and purely, without regard for wealth or status or reputation. Recognizing that only the fruit of these years of practice will serve any benefit at that time. And then when you're ready, we'll come back together. And we'll dedicate. So recollect your altruistic motivation and think that by having engaged in this contemplation, you've actualized that motivation, created positive energy in the mind, and think that you freely offer the fruit of your practice for the benefit of all sentient beings without exception. Thinking may it serve as a cause and condition to eliminate war and conflict, poverty, famine, disease, disasters, all painful inner and outer conditions. May it fully ripen the minds of all sentient beings. May they quickly meet perfect teachers and arise in the state of full enlightenment. May I too achieve this state of enlightenment in order to work for the benefit of sentient beings perfectly. May any obstacles facing the Guru's long life be completely dispelled, and may I and all sentient beings in this moment come under the joyful care and guidance of enlightened beings. May we be guided and protected until we swiftly achieve that state of enlightenment. Thank you.